Well, I can tell you right now what happens because Madeline DuPont won in the Europeans with zero expectations, just wanted to have fun, and voila, she's the European champ. So maybe zero expectations is the secret to life.
I think that's the secret right there. You nailed it, Colleen.
Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
But it's 5 o'clock somewhere and it's hot somewhere.
At a time.
Let's get right to Mexico. Let's get right to Brad Jacobs because that's where he is. I think it's about 26 degrees. Oh.
Look at, yay. Okay, that's looking too good. And love the Tom Cruise glasses.
Yeah,
Where are you?
This is my rooster look from the new Top Gun.
Nice.
That's what I'm going for.
Mr. Mexico Cups. Okay, before we get to you, we're going to roll the video evidence from March of last year, right, Dev? That you were so retired. So done. So done.
I mean, I almost introduced you as Tom Brady. Let's take a look.
But I always told my guys over the course of the last number of years that it was hard for me to see past 2022. I really couldn't. And I don't really, I mean, I know why now. It's clear to me that I think I've made a really good decision because I am happy with it. But yeah, I just wanted to give it everything I had for our current team up till 2022. And I've done that. I feel like I've done that and we've done that as a team and I'm ready to kind of just take a break. That's all. And I'm actually really, like I said, excited to kind of sit back and watch some curling, see how much I truly do love this sport and whether I have that hunger and that desire to want to come back or if it's something that, maybe is going to be in the rearview mirror for me. I really don't know, but time will tell.
Papa Smurf. Now Mexico Cups. What happened? Hasn't even been a year.
What happened?
He's back.
He's back.
I'm not back. I mean, I'm a little bit back. I'm not back. There's a big difference between, what everyone does on the World Curling Tour week in and week out and that commitment to the slams and all the spiels and what I'm doing. So we can talk about it.
Let's get into it. Okay. So tell us about the team. Tell us about the conversations. How back are you, Brad?
Just a little bit. Hardly at all. I'm enjoying Mexico too much. We're coming down here 2 more times in the next 5 or 6 months. But how this all worked out and how it all.
Don't freeze there, man.
Leaving us on a cliffhanger.
There's a cliffhanger here. He might have to. There
we
we
go.
go.
Back?
We got you. But we love the drama of you freezing right there. We couldn't. That just even. We were holding our breath. Okay, continue on. Continue on.
I guess this Wi-Fi in Mexico is a little shoddy. Anyways, so yeah, I'm playing playdowns. That's it. Just playing men's playdowns. So you guys saw the team: Jamie Broad, Kyle Chandler, Jordan Chandler, and myself. So we got to know Jordan pretty well last year when we played with him at provincials. You guys might remember that when Mark was away with Team Gushu, Team Canada. At the Olympics, we needed a spare, and Jordan stepped in and spared really well. We got to know him really well, like I said, and he really did us, a huge favor back then, and stepping up and playing with us and playing as well as he did. And this year, recently, he reached out to me, and he was basically looking he needed at least one guy, maybe 2. And I hummed and hawed. I thought about it, and I basically said, "Look, I'll play provincials, and that's it." It took me about a solid week to make that decision, and lo and behold, here we are.
Nice.
Okay, but hold on. What happens if you win provincials?
Well, then I guess
you're the Briar, and you're going to be the snack guy, Devin, and I'm going to be the coach. Okay, yeah. What happens if you win provincials?
I guess we would have to go to London, but it's going to be tough. Like we've never played together as a team. We've never even practiced together. We're going to have to try to do a little bit of that so we don't embarrass ourselves. But hey, you know what? Everyone's capable. Everyone's been playing the sport a long time. We just got to try to figure out a little dynamic and go out there. And at the end of the day, zero expectations. We're going to go out there, throw a team in, have some fun, and just see what happens.
Well, I can tell you right now what happens because Madeline DuPont won in the Europeans with zero expectations, just wanted to have fun, and voila, she's the European champ. So maybe zero expectations is the secret to life.
I think that's the secret right there. You nailed it, Colleen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are you excited about this, Brad? I mean, this is interesting to hear you say this. You know, I know you wouldn't have taken this decision lightly, but this sounds like a very different thing from maybe earlier in your career where it was all about winning. Now you're going out on the ice and playing a provincial play down and with zero expectations.
Yeah, it's a different feeling, but I'm still excited. I'm excited to give that a whirl. And you know, with these guys, I know Jamie Broad is from Sault Ste. Marie, is a really good buddy of mine. I've known Jamie since I was a kid, and since we were, you know, stomping around the curling club growing up. So really great guy, really good friend of mine. And the Chandler brothers have been knocking on the door in Northern Ontario during playdowns and other spiels too for many, many years. And we've played against those guys since we were teenagers. That all started back in the high school days, even before that. So. But like I said, it's just no expectations, no pressure. Let's go out there and have some fun. And this is one of the reasons why I did this, you guys. I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? This little opportunity came up, kind of talked to my wife about it, talked to the guys about it, and said, you know what? Sure, let's put a team in playdowns.
Awesome.
What happens?
When was the last time you played for fun? You know, because the expectations ever since you won Olympic gold have just kept growing.
Yeah, sure. You know what? I realized this year, not playing competitive men's, I hadn't been to the curling club in the evening for like a decade.
Wow.
We would always practice during the day and or do our best to practice during the day. And we took our team out of men's league because that just wasn't serving us very well. And to go back to the curling club and spare, you know, with my Uncle Al's team and a couple other teams out there in the men's major league has been a blast. It's been an absolute blast. Seeing all those faces again, everybody's a little older, but all the same faces and guys are out there. And it's really cool to reconnect with everyone.
Let's talk about the grind. It seems like every single weekend I can watch, whether it's from a Stu Cells or anything on Curling Zone, the Morris Spiel, there was one in Alberta. I'm watching great curling every single weekend, and it seems like the same teams every single weekend. What is that grind like? Has it got way worse than sort of even when you started? I can't even remember when you started. You've just been at it forever. Not as long as Sherry Anderson, who's coming up later. But anyhow, what's that grind like? Weekend in, weekend out, little time with your family?
It's tough. It's really tough. The commitment level just seems to be getting higher and higher. And you see the sport and some of the athletes coming up on the men's and women's side, they're getting younger and younger. I'm 37 now, you know, that sort of 10 to 15 year period where I was part of that with Ryan and EJ and Fry and, you know, Mark and other teammates. You know, that was a huge grind.
Oh,
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah, he will be back.
We know.
I love how he talked about was talking about playing with Uncle Al. And it is he's back.
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you lost me or not, but you know, it is a huge grind, a huge commitment. You know, I look at some of these teams now and these players with the sweeping and I think of, you know, what's the longevity like for the new curler these days, especially some of these guys and gals out there that are just reaping on that broom.
Yeah.
Week in and week out, you know, what's that going to be like on their bodies long term? And I see some of the shots that are being pulled off, and I mean, we've made a lot of great shots in the past and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but some of the shots that are being made today are mind-boggling. I've been sitting back watching some curling, and it's just crazy. Some of the things that athletes in curling are able to pull off now. It's unbelievable.
Oh, he froze again. But let me pick up on what he's saying, because we showed his highlight reel when we had him on a couple of weeks ago for the mixed. Yeah. He was making those shots all the time.
Right.
I mean, so it's not like that's anything new. We were just talking about that highlight reel we showed where some of those shots were old. You've been making those shots. So it's not like the shots have gotten any better.
I think we got to bring him back in there. He's muted himself now. He might need to unmute himself.
So I can keep talking.
You can keep talking. You know what? It's interesting to hear him talk about the grind, and I think he'll be back. Brad, are you there? Can you
I'm here. Here.
Okay.
That's one too many thing in your cup, by the way. No more margaritas for you. Just don't push any buttons, Terminator.
Two quick things. Two quick things I want to ask you while we have you, and have a sip before you get ready for this. Have we lost some of the joy of curling because of the grind? Secondly, can you show us where you are and your background and like on a tour, because Paul and I have our toques on. We wish we were there.
Yeah, we wish we were warm.
There's a little bit of construction going on over this way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
beautiful.
I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
We can see. We can see it looks warm. And why is it sunny there? Don't they get daylight savings time where it gets super dark in the winter? Am I stupid?
Well, what time is it? It's 6 o'clock. 6:14 in Mexico.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock.
Well,
I just want to hear on the joy of curling. Do you think we've lost some of it, Brad?
Oh, I don't know. I think that depends who you ask. And I do think that the competitiveness, the commitment level, how hard it is actually the challenge of it all is really part of the joy, I think. And I mean, yeah, for the competitive athlete out there, you want it to be hard. You want to work your butt off for it. It should be difficult. But you know what? For me right now, I'm loving having fun playing some mixed doubles with Carrie Anderson, and shout out to her and her husband who stepped in for me last week, and they did really well in Winnipeg. So shout out to Kyle and Carrie. But having fun doing that, it's keeping me active. I really don't know at this point if I'll be back at the level that, you know, the Gushus and the Mowats and all those teams and the Dunstones. I don't know if I'll be back at that level or not. I'm having fun doing what I'm doing right now and spending more time with the family, going on hot vacations, and that's where I'm at.
Oh, stop it. You got more talent on your baby finger than most curlers have ever had. So you can't help yourself but be great. You were born for this. Let me just remind you of that. But anyhow, so nice for you to take the time. And are you going to be at next week's
Brantford
Jones' birthday celebration?
Yep. I'm going to have to dry out for 4 or 5 days, throw some rocks, and we'll be back at it.
But it's Colleen's birthday next Friday. So
that's all. But there's also... have fun in Mexico. Get back to a few rocks.
I think we lost him again.
We lost him again. That's all right.
The beach. That's a good picture.